What is going on, YouTube? Today I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek at the new project that I've been collecting parts for like the last month or so. I found this truck in Nevada, went and picked it up. Kind of knew I wanted it immediately just because how clean it was, so been looking for one for a while. Finally got the right one. This thing is super clean inside and out, and it's gonna make a great donor for our project. So I'll put a little bit of clips in here of the truck and then show you guys the truck. Well, there she is. It's a 1966 International Loadstar 1600. This truck used to be a lumber delivery truck in Maupin, Oregon at a lumber yard slash hardware store. It's all original from when they had it and used it. And it was used up until COVID hit and they stopped the lumber yard and just turned into a hardware and country store. So I found this truck in Nevada, just 2 hours from here, and the guy that had it bought it from the lumber yard, and he planned on building it and doing a big project with it, but he ended up moving out of the state and he didn't want to take this with him, so he posted it for sale. And when he posted it for sale, I messaged him the same day and got there within a couple days to go pick it up. This truck is overall super clean. The paint looks really good for the age. It must have been redone or something. And it has the hand painting, pinstriping stuff done on here. Grill's all in one piece, not destroyed. Missing a couple of the lenses down here and the top. And the cab lights. One lens is missing, and it's missing the two outside lights. The only dent on the whole truck is this corner right here in the front. The bed is pretty rusty. The step for it broke off, but you can see it's rusty and flaking off along the whole edge of the bed. And it's pretty cool. It's got this roller on the back. It needs to be greased up, but it spins and rolls. It's got a hydraulic lift bed, ran off a PTO from the training, and it all works. I'll show the interior real quick. Interior is super solid, good shape. No rot on any of the doors. Super clean. Seat brackets aren't rotted out. Floor is a little rusty, if I can get this up. But it's not totally rotted. It's still solid, but not that big a deal. All of the original gauges are in here in the dash still. It's got a tack bolted to the top of the dash and then an aftermarket oil pressure gauge on the side. It's got two fuel tanks, so there's a switch, original steering wheel, original seat with a couple of cracks in it but no tears or anything crazy. And it's a 5-speed with a 2-speed rear end. And as for rust, I haven't found any really yet. Usually these panels rot out. Under the hood, these cowls rot out, but this one's super clean. Has the original 345. I believe that's what it is. Almost lost that badge on the way home. Let's pop open this side. Yeah, no rust pretty much anywhere on the cowl. This thing is super clean inside and out. Now I really wish I could do a will it run video on this truck, but I can't really do that when the truck just starts right up. bad for an old farm truck that's been sitting. The battery isn't holding the charge, so I got the jump box on there. Other than that, she fires right up. Let's go take this thing for a little spin around the property. It's starting to rain a little bit. I don't got no wipers in this thing. There's granny low there. Come on. Finding the gears in this thing, it's a little tricky. And I believe one of my steer tires is pretty low, so it's really hard to turn this thing. I could not imagine driving this thing, delivering lumber, going through neighborhoods and getting in people's driveways and doing all that, because I can barely turn this thing around and drive it just through the neighborhood. But the brakes are questionable. Turn this thing around here. I just turned that steering wheel 100 times and I barely made the turn. The steering ratio is crazy. Man, this thing's just a blast to drive around. I can't wait to get work on this thing and get it going. But let me show you guys real quick what I got up my sleeve for this thing, what we're gonna do with it. Well, this is our donor truck here. It's a 99 Ram 3500. It's the 24 valve and it's automatic. 2-wheel drive, dually. I've already started parting out this truck because I've had it for a little while. So the bed is sold, bumper is sold, a few different things have been sold, and it's slowly getting stripped down. I know stripping this truck isn't the most entertaining thing, so I don't know how much footage I'll have of doing that, but definitely building that one. So pretty much my plan for this thing is to just put that Loadstar cab right on this chassis with the 24 valve and leave all the drivetrain pretty much how it is. Leave the stock suspension because I think it'll sit pretty good height, and if I need to I'll lower it a little bit. Alright, there she is. We'll get working on this thing soon. It'll be in this video. for now I'm just going to get these things parked over in their parking spots, and I got a shop to clean up before I can really get to any work, so let's go do that. And there she goes. Well, the audio got pretty butchered on the last video I was filming with the other camera, so back to the broken GoPro. But yeah, these are the two trucks. This is what we're gonna work with. Got to get these things in the shop and get the cab off of that one, get the chassis sold, get the cab off of that one, get the cab sold, and then we'll start mixing the two trucks together and making a cool rig. Well, I spent a few days getting the shop picked up and reorganized a bit so I can jump on this project, and I think it's good to go. So let's go ahead and pull the Dodge in and start tearing it down and getting the cab off. Get this thing ready to swap. Oh, window squeaky. Filled up my whole truck, siphoning it out, and this thing still got a half tank in it, so it was super full. Runs good. Well, it's time to take this truck and make it not a truck. Get this thing all ripped apart. Well, we're back out here again. Still got a lot to do to get this cab off. It's a lot more work than I anticipated. Only cabs I ever pulled before were older trucks, including like an S10 and stuff that I did for my 58, but there's a lot of stuff going on for this thing. Almost makes me wish I got a 12 valve, but here we are. Let's go ahead and get this thing apart. Got the Dodge frame out here, out of the shop. This thing was a pain to push out here, but we got it done. This thing looks really clean overall. No rust, no damage to the frame. Everything looks super straight. Should be pretty easy to clean it up and get it back together. I do want to fix a couple of the leaks on the motor, like the valve cover, and there's some stuff leaking on top of the tranny. Might reseal the pan on the tranny, probably the pan on the motor, and then I want to pull the front of the motor apart and see if the killer dowel pin and all that stuff's been done, which I assume it would be done because this motor was replaced and by a pretty reputable diesel shop, so I'd assume they would do it, but you never know. I tried checking this thing to see if it's a 53 block or not, but since it has been replaced, there is no markings on the block, so I assume it's not a 53. It would be something more modern and better. But yeah, it looks pretty good, pretty clean. All the suspension's in pretty good shape. It's got the exhaust brake on the turbo, but I am gonna do side mount fuel tanks, get rid of the factory tank, and I'll do an air dog or a fast system and get rid of the factory filter housing and all that, because this factory one is leaking, where they always leak from the connector that goes in for the fuel heater. It's leaking there, so instead of fixing that, I'm just going to delete it and go to a fast system. Other than that, the motor is going to pretty much stay stock turbo, unless I find a crazy deal on like a fleece or something. But I like the low end power these stock turbos have, so I might just leave it how it is. And then I'll upgrade the tranny cooler, and then I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do a 3rd gen radiator and intercooler because it's skinnier but taller than the 2nd gen, and the International cab is a lot skinnier in the front end, so it'll give me more room to work with that. But let's go back in the shop. We got the International in there, and get the cab pulled off of that one while I got some help here. Completely. Oh my god. Okay, pull the speedo cable. Pull it. Pull it, Jim. Got it. Forgot about the shifter.
strong. It barely ripped. It was like stretching. Well,
the shifter one's still on there.
Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, that's good. Damn, so. Stay with it.
That back one's leaning too, it's barely on. That one's good.
Pull over your truck. And then we'll lower the cab down. On some wood blocks or something.
I'll pull it out of my truck, but we gotta somehow be able to turn it and get it off of there.
Yeah.
Hello. Forklift car. Very good. Power stance. That's the power stance.
Really?
Okay, very good.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh my god,
Well, here's where the cab sits for now. Still gotta get the other chassis in here and start getting this thing on top of it. I already know from seeing other guys build these trucks and a few people I've talked to and got info, I gotta cut the firewall out and cut the floor out so the motor can sit under the dash, because this front end is much shorter than the original Dodge front end. So it'll be quite a bit of fab work, which I'm happy about because that's what I like doing. But overall, this cab is in really, really good shape. Other than a few scratches on the back, like right here, looks like something was hitting it. And then the dent on the front fender over here. But other than that, this thing is super straight and the paint probably buff out pretty good. And I know I showed the rust in the floors up here, but it's actually all just surface rust because I got underneath the cab when we had it in the air, and it's all super solid. Matter of fact, I'll just raise it up and show you underneath the cab. All right, let's get a look underneath this thing. You can pretty much see there is zero rot on the floors over here where the rust is on top. And it looks like the truck used to be like a green or some type of teal or something like that, and they painted it the baby blue, which I really wish it was the original color because that's a cool color. That greenish blue back here. But yeah, this thing is super solid. No rot anywhere on the floors, so I don't think I need to cut any of the floors out at all really, other than the middle part where the motor's gonna be. Then I gotta get rid of these PTO controls because I'm not using that. And I'll drop this factory fuel tank out of it because I'm not using that. And then up front here, I'm gonna use the factory steering column, at least as much of it as I can, and then connect it to the Dodge steering box. And then I'll leave all the factory light housings and all that, and I left all the wiring on both sides so I can use that. And then we'll have to do some trimming on the fenders, on the inner fenders, to clear the control arms and all that when it's on there. Well, I can't wait to really get working on this thing and start seeing how it's gonna look. Right now it just looks like a dead truck sitting on my rack, but it's gonna be sweet pretty soon. I already have wheels on the way. I already got the exhaust for it, and I'm just looking for some fuel tanks and some other parts like that. But other than that, this thing's full steam ahead. Not trying to rush and get it done. I just want to like really take my time and make it super nice. But since I've gotten the ball rolling and things are just falling into place. It's been getting done pretty quick, and I've gotten a lot of progress so far because I've only got 2 or 3 days of working on this thing total, and I'm already this far. So yeah, I can't wait to get more done and show you guys the rest of it. But I think next week's video will be back on the Impala, and then we'll get back on this thing after that once I get some wheels showing up and other parts. Well, thank you guys for checking it out. Hope you guys are excited to see it as much as I am. And thanks to all the guys on YouTube that have already built these things to pretty much give me instructions, because it's making my life easy and I just get to give it my own twist. So thank you guys. We'll see you guys in the next video.